I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
See, he's my property, and any girl that touch, I might just call your bluff, 'cause I don't give a who are you to call myself. Oh, I'ma wish you well, 'cause any girl that's tried has failed. Oh.
Where my girl's at, from the front to back, and is she feeling that? Put one hand up, can you repeat that? Can't take my messy, I don't need that. Don't play yourself and whoa ha ha, whoa ha 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 ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. Whoa ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, wah, whoa ha 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 ha, ha, whoa ha ha,
Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha.
Everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Blackest Show About Nothing. It's Jaden XD. Hello, world. This is a free episode, so you can watch this everywhere. Visuals free, audio ad free, even down to the Patreon. This is a free episode because we have waited almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. We have not posted about this since November 2022.
No, we haven't. And you know what? I don't think we needed it all that time either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's the greatest gap years that, the most necessary gap years to ever exist. You know, as we were watching this, I felt great trepidation in my vagina. But before that, we have to talk about actual world news before we get to anything.
Okay.
We have to do an update this week because, you know what I'm saying? The IDF is wilding per usual, targeting tents that are sheltering journalists in front of the hospital in Gaza, in front of the Nasser hospital in Gaza, literally setting them on fire. So, Ahmed Mansour, he was actually he succumbed to his injuries this morning, I believe, or last night. 2 others were killed as well, Youssef and Helmi. 9 others were injured, and that makes 233 journalists killed since October. So, you know, journalism is a form of communication. And I said it, I guess it's next week on Getting Grown, but usually I record back to back, so that's why it might fall like that. But I was talking about how, as of recently, you know, I talk about Bisan a lot. Bisan is a source on the ground that has really been doing brave work by letting us know what's going on actually on the ground, especially because the propaganda is flowing heavy and thick. And And there's so many others that I follow. There's a young lady I follow named Renad. Renad is like Noah's age, and she makes food. And she's been making food through the pandemic to keep her spirits up and keep people's spirits up. And you can visibly see her spirit just sunk at this point, a child. And the videos that I would normally see from them, the updates, sometimes they're videos, sometimes they're just word posts to let people know they're okay, but that things are really, really bad right now. This is the longest that the aid has been cut off. I know we've talked about aid being cut off. This is the longest aid has been cut off, the longest period of time, from medical supplies to food, etc. And so, again, intentional genocide. They are trying to get rid of them by any means necessary. And we have to continue to do our work by paying attention to what's going on, helping where we can, but we must not let them forget, because this is not okay. And they're trying to justify this as okay. Also in Sudan, they're about to hit 2 years. April 15th makes 2 years of the ongoing genocide in Sudan. And so Sarah, who I also talk about often, BS on Blast, and all of this will be in the description box. Sarah will be hosting a reflection along the Sudan Solidarity Collective on this Tuesday, April 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they're going to reflect on the war, hopes for where they're going, and some tools on how to get there as a community. And so that will be in the description box. You can also check out Sarah's page. It is posted, but that will happen on Tuesday, April 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those who would also like to join in on Respectful Reflections. And I just wanted to make sure that all of those things were noted this week. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Free everybody. Free everybody.
Yeah. How was your week?
Week was busy, but productive. You know, I feel like I'm getting things done. I'm feeling like the spring kicking my ass, which is what I always need. And, you know, yeah, nigga, I don't think I have anything exciting. I'm getting ready for the dinner, prepping for the dinner, trying to get all my organization together. You know what I'm saying? I looked up and a nigga was grown. I was like, it's not exciting anymore, girl. We got to get some exciting things going. But who can be excited right now? Not me. So, no, I am excited to feed people and, like, you know, get back into a good groove of different things. But nothing hype, and I don't need nothing hype right now. Avocados are about to be $16, and so I need everything to just stay calm for a little bit. What's going on with you?
Yeah. You know, just the general, you know, life. Now, I realized, like, this was one of those weeks that nothing happened. It was like everything happened and nothing happened at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
The whole, yeah, I guess because nothing significant happened, I guess that's a good thing. Because remember, Sarah Koenig used to be like, well, you won't remember shit unless if something happened significantly 6 weeks ago.
She's not
or anything
wrong.
like that. So
She's not wrong.
if nothing happened significant, then I guess then it was okay.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows?
There he goes.
Only time. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, I haven't been doing. It was cool. I meal prepped and shit. Like you know, I was
see,
responsible.
grown shit.
Yeah.
Right, nigga. I built a shelf. Like, you know, been reorganizing things. You know, trying to do a spring cleaning. Like, it ain't nothing hype over here. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's been so regular this last week, and good because you know, retrograde was wearing me thin.
I think it was wearing everybody thin.
ends.
I think that's the other thing. Yeah. Everybody I've talked to is like, bitch, I have been internally going through it and I am exhausted. And I think that's like the general consensus. So yeah, we don't need nothing hype happening. I did find out why saws were created.
I'm going to assume racism.
Yes. To cut into pelvic bones.
That's so interesting because we watch Hollywood Graveyard. It's a little macabre, but it's essentially this man goes around to cemeteries across America or the globe even, and points out notable celebrities or notable figures and gives them like a proper honor, like a bio and things.
Oh, okay.
And it's so interesting because he goes around to people you would have never thought to like think about, like a lot of black actors and actresses he covers that you would have never thought of, like from
Della
the
Reese.
talkie era.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Della Reese has been on there. I know he did like a whole thing on Pearl Bailey. He did Nat King Cole. It was like a whole thing he did on Nat King Cole. It was a special. So it's very interesting. And he points out a lot of like Negro League baseball players and stuff, like when he goes down south.
I like that.
Ever wondered where your favorite stars are buried? Let's find out.
But yeah, it's
Okay, I thought he was coming and being disruptive. He's not. He's honoring.
no,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. It's
good.
actually you learn a lot about people. You'd be like, oh, okay. Like, and there's so many young people that have passed away, like through airplane accidents
Oh
and
my
things,
God.
like a lot of bands and
Jim
stuff.
Croce.
But yes, but the reason why I brought this up is because the inventor of
It was Jim Croce.
anesthesia died at the hands of it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so like the inventor of anesthesia, he like used to self-test on himself. And so like he took like a dosage and he went crazy, and then he went and like poured sulfuric acid on like 2 women. And then when he came to and he realized what he did, he committed suicide.
The fuck?
Exactly. So drug-induced suicide was crazy.
Hold on, I'm trying to see. I don't think it's not Jim Croce who died, but
And then-
you're Paul Davis. It was
Or like
Paul
the day,
Davis.
yeah, like the day music died with Buddy Holly and all of them, also in a plane crash. But yeah, the whole point was me to tell you the inventor of anesthesia definitely died at his own hands because he went crazy off of anesthesia. But anywho,
So what did the 10 crack
a
commandments
little
say?
dark. Never get high on your own supply.
I'm trying to. Oh yes, it was Jim Croce as well. He was 30.
That's so young.
I know, in Louisiana, Natchitoches.
If I could make days last forever, if words could make wishes come true, I'd save every day like a treasure and then again.
What?
Natchadoches.
Natchitoches. Oh, okay, yeah. I think my cousin lives near there. But yes, okay, so yeah, it was both Paul Davis and Jim Croce. Well, what the hell was going on?
Listen. And that's the thing, that at Hollywood Graveyard, they give you a lot of like backstory and lore, like these people. So it's very interesting how to learn about these folks.
Okay.
But anywho, what else did I do this week? Oh, I adult shit. I made a dense bean salad. That's what I did.
Is there a way to make a bean salad with no beans?
That's just a salad. I'm also in like a space of cleaning out things that I have in my pantry and freezer and fridge because I'm like, I have all this shit. Like I'm gonna cook
Do
it
something
until
with it.
everything is bare.
Do something with it.
Yeah, and so, I was like, I have all these like, because my mother thinks I need to buy rations and shit because I guess we almost are about to go to war, but like, you know what I mean? So like, I have a whole bunch of shit. So I was like, okay, well, let me get rid of some of the stuff I have.
Isn't
And
war
when I
how
tell
we got
you,
Kraft mac and
deliciousness-
cheese?
It is.
God.
It is.
Okay.
It is. But anywho, yeah, that was my week. It was very, very cream of wheat.
Yeah, I wish I had more for you. Yeah,
Me too.
but I have nothing.
I don't have a Tiffy time update or anything.
No.
Oh, if y'all looking for a Tiffy updated, there was one on Patreon. Some Mary. You gotta go watch the Mary episode.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah. Let's pay some bills, right? So today we're celebrating Handmaid. Well, I don't know if we're celebrating him. I don't know if we can celebrate. We are
White Roots is back.
Yeah, we're White. Well, yeah, White Roots is back.
Yeah.
And we're covering the first 3 episodes because they all dropped today.
We watched them
and
just to talk to you all about them.
Yes, I binge watched 3 hours of voluntary white slavery. Well, I don't know if it's voluntary, but white slavery.
Yeah, abolition, true.
It's complicated feelings every time I watch this show.
True
it's
Christianity versus fake Christianity.
Yeah, and they added a whole new element
Baby!
this season. And I just,
well, let's finish these bills and get to the shit.
Yes. Subscribe to us on YouTube where you can watch this for free, as well as our Patreon, $9.99 or $12.99. Join the Discord. It's freer than you and me. The Agents of Chaos have developed a wonderful community and all that good stuff. But do you have any announcements? Are you sold out?
I am sold out at the dinner party. And so thank you all for everybody who supported and wanted to. There will be other editions where there will not be pork, there will not be gluten in certain ones, there will not be meat in a certain ones. So your time is coming if these are some of the things that you have requested. But yeah, I had to get the first one underway. I'm excited for that, and then we'll talk about more.
Yay. And I have a couple more spots left for, consulting and things.
Yes.
So, because I don't take on too many at once because that makes it nobody wins.
Yeah, no.
Right. So I have a couple spots left. So come speak to me, holler at me. We'll get your stuff off the ground. Like I said, today is Handmaid's Tale Day. So let's take a break and get to the shits. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Sometimes I get angry, and it took me many years to be able to say just those words. In my work, sometimes my body thrums. I'm so enraged.
And we're back. So we're talking about The Handmaid's Tale. I guess we can go in episode by episode because that's the only way it makes sense.
The dress became our uniform. And we became an army.
Let me give you a quick recap because there was a lot of context that you needed to have going into this, and I'm gonna try to do it for you all in whatever 280 times 4 is. So, Commander Putnam got clapped. I don't know if you remember that. Fred Daddy died.
In front of everybody.
Baby, it was very gory. Fred Daddy died, Commander Fred. Black Hannah was at the Fune. June saw her at the Fune on the TV and on the big jumbotrons in Times Square. June delivered Saint Rena's baby. That's what I started calling Serena, Saint Rena. Janine got activated and then she got arrested and then taken away somewhere. Black Luke killed a Canadian MAGA. June said that they have to run because America wasn't Gilead until it was, a bar.
Yeah.
American refugees was starting to get bussed to Canada, trained out west because nobody wanted them anywhere. Now, spicy white Commander Baby Daddy stormed into Commander Get Out's house, if you all remember, snuffed him in front of everybody, and then he goes to Gilead jail. His wife comes to see him. She was disgusted because she found out he was fucking with his old thing. And then she was like, I want a divorce, which we were wondering, is that even allowed in Gilead? But then remember, they weren't living in Gilead any longer. They were now living in New Bethlehem, which we will get more context for. Lydia the Avenger was born, but not quite, but we'll get to that. Black Luke got arrested as they were about to board a train for killing Canadian MAGA. June runs into St. Rena on the train with both of them with babies. And that is where we left off.
Yeah. So now we enter Handmaid's Tale, episode 601, Train. The train, I remember they're on a train. It's a beautiful shot of the train.
We start off with their fantastic ass cinematography, honestly.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Remember that scene last season with the handmaids? And it was like, even though it was the handmaids at the feud, and it was just like a gorgeous shot.
Yes. It was just like, y'all are doing this. The DP is doing the work.
Yes. Come on, drones.
Yes. So, June is looking after both Nichole. Nichole is back.
Yeah.
And Noah, Serena's son. Now, I call Serena's son Ruby Frankie. Because when I was like, because in this episode, we get more context about Serena and who she was before, and she was a religious influencer.
Yeah,
like this bitch was Ruby Frankie.
Yeah, she was.
So
now we're going to go to our GMA exclusive with the eldest daughter of mom influencer Ruby Frankie, who pleaded guilty to child abuse last year. Sherry Frankie is now sharing her story in a new book, including allegations about her mom's relationship with her former mentor.
Like she's like, if she had everything but a YouTube channel.
No, she did. Like
she probably had a YouTube channel, actually.
She was low-key Carrie Underwood. Like she was
literally Gwyneth Paltrow without the acting.
Oh yeah,
for religious
she
purposes.
was Gwyneth Paltrow with a Bible. Is what she was.
Yeah, yeah. It's like instead of Goop, it's like I don't know, Christ. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She had a cause, and people was following it.
Right. So remember, June got slammed on a Canadian road by Gilead officer.
Oh my God! No, Canadian MAGA.
Gilead officer. Oh yeah, Canadian MAGA, because they're trying to get all the refugees out because we don't want your kind here.
Here.
So
I don't know how to say here in Canadian. No. I also am not trying to have beef with y'all. Like, I fucks with y'all the long way.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep saying a boot, but it is no beef.
Y'all know that.
Yeah.
It's no beef. It's cool. It's just, it's not us.
It's not us.
So, I don't know if Ruby Frankie, Serena Joy, bumped her head because throughout this, she has become rather religious, or even more so, because all that went out the window. Remember last season when she was in the fucking barn and shit, like giving birth like a goat. What's the Kardashian?
Oh.
Yeah. Same thing.
Oh my God.
So Serena's explaining what happened, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're tough, and and Serena goes on this thing God works in mysterious ways and all this, and June's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, why are you romanticizing this experience?
Don't talk to me about anything.
She's like, oh, we're finally on this train and we're here to change the world. And June was like, oh, you are so lucky I can't.
She was trying to affirm and relate. And she's like, oh, and I've been holding this baby for days. Oh my God, thank you for giving me a break. And June Tubman's eyes are about to roll to the back of her head. They're about to get stuck.
Yeah.
Now, June falls asleep. And we get...
She sees the color purple.
The color Hannah dream.
You know you have to acknowledge the color purple,
God
otherwise
gets
God gets
pissed
mad.
off. If you walk by the color purple and don't acknowledge it. And Hannah said, say less, copy, and floated like Celie and Nettie. And then June came like a Tesla truck in the scene because why is a white woman in the color purple outside of Miss Millie? And then she wakes up to find that Nicholet is gone. She is gone with Serena. Now, I even myself was like, girl, you on the train. Like, where they go? Where the fuck they going?
Right, because in my head I was like, this is like Snowpiercer. Have you ever seen Snowpiercer? No, you have not seen Snowpiercer.
What is that?
Basically, because it's an action movie. It's an end of the world movie where they're in a constant loop on a train.
Two things I fucking hate. Action and end of the world movies. Ugh.
Oh, we're watching Snowpiercer.
No.
Because we have to watch, because like Octavia Spencer's eating babies on the thing with Chris Pratt. It's a lot going on.
I can't relate to the apocalypse. I don't like that kind of, and it's not the gore. It's just like, this is not like, it's good. This is boring. Give me something.
It was wild where they had to eat babies. It was crazy.
No, and then I don't want to. Although if you said a baby just right, they probably look like a roasted chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's poi.
It's mutton. Oh, we're terrible people. So she gets to Serena's ass about taking her child. And relatable. Don't touch my goddamn baby. I don't care how asleep I am, bitch. Let that bitch drop out of my arms. So
yeah.
And Serena's gaslighting her. She forgot how awful she actually was. But I did giggle when she was like, I gave her a poison apple. I did. I sniggled. Now, Serena's trying to become this duo, okay? This bitch is trying to be Batman and Robin.
She's trying to be Thelma
Tia
and
Tamara.
Louise.
She's like, and June is like, get out of here, Tamara. I don't want to be your twin anymore.
Yeah.
And so, and she's doing all this praise be talk, and she's doing it all loud. June's trying to hush it. Bitch, shut the fuck up before people hear you with that bullshit. And June's also while she is seething and viscerally angry at Serena, and for all the justified reasons, she is also cringing in pain. And she's disoriented from the pain because she literally just got run over by a F-150 yesterday, backwards and forwards and again and again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead.
Yeah. Serena eventually gets the doctor. And June is still like,
yeah.
I don't know about you, but fine.
But her arm is infected.
Yeah. Meanwhile, New Bethlehem is cute.
Wait, no, hold on. Before you even move on. First of all, New Bethlehem looked like Woodbury Commons. But anyway, before we move on to that.
The house that they had overlooking the ocean was cute, Jay.
Yeah, it was Connecticut. It was Connecticut, nigga. It was also haunted. Yeah. Before we move to New Bethlehem, we have to acknowledge the fact that in this moment, Soldrina Truth is born. Because this bitch goes to get the doctor for June's infected arm. And then here she comes. Women and children have no place on this train for themselves of safety. And she starts organizing.
Oh, yeah. She turns into a fucking suffragette.
This bitch became a Quaker. Like, it was a whole to-do.
She organized.
She did. Because by the time June came back, it was women and children. I was like, well, at least you're an effective evil bitch. But anyway, now you can move on.
She runs Goop, I'm telling you.
She does. She does the other side of it. Because there's always a parent company. Back to Connecticut.
But yes, New Bethlehem is cute. They sent New Bethlehem. They sent Nicholet's real father, Nick,
Spice.
back to New Bethlehem. Yeah, Commander Spice to be with his old lady.
Will Gardner lives when he walked in. I said, I ain't seen Will since The Dreams. Will lives.
Yeah.
So if you are into The Good Wife, which you know that I recently watched for the very first time ever, Will, who was one of the main characters, died on the show. Ain't no spoiler alert. That shit came out in like 2014.
He was also on Sports Night.
What the fuck is that?
Same.
Is that an action movie?
No, it was a great television show on ABC.
I feel like you're just trying to piss me off at this point.
No. It was not action. That had nothing to do with action. It was a sports show on television.
Apparently, him and Elizabeth Moss have also been in something together before.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I've never seen it, but I read that. But Will...
He X'd down.
He does, and he is a new season regular apparently for this final season. He's the father-in-law of Commander Spice's wife, right? Who was pissed off, remember, because he went back to his old thing, June. So, and I also forgot that she's pregnant.
I call her Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh, that makes sense. And you know who Commander Get Out's wife was? Lil Edie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's pregnant, and the father... You see? Gilead. The father-in-law, Will Gardner, is living with them in the home. So... it's already evident. It's in the air, okay? This nigga is clearly trying to set up the chess pieces. And we figure out very quickly why.
Yeah.
He's trying to get with Serena, but we'll get to that later. So I was like...
yeah.
Anticlimactic, like our weeks. So...
because it's very funny when he tries to, like, pull up on her.
We're gonna get to
in the town.
Okay. Fine. Because also his daughter peeped it anyway. So meanwhile, back on the train, Sojourner Truth,
Serena Nightingale made the fucking Red Cross in the fucking final car.
Yes. And June finally finds the patience to like be a little bit vulnerable with her, let her know what happened to Black Luke. You know, it's a lot of Gilead verbiage coming out of Serena's mouth, which is God's justice will prevail and all kinds of things. And then June, you know, as Serena finds herself getting a little too friendly, June has to remind her of Blenna. You know what I'm saying? She's like, lest we forget, bitch, you are an integral part of me not having my eldest child. And then they find out that they're not going to Vancouver, which is where they were originally going, because nobody wants the Americans any longer, which is going to make it harder to connect with Black Luke, who got arrested. But Serena's trying to affirm June and, you know, remind her of her strength and resilience against herself. This was so crazy.
Yeah. You are strong, June. Look at what you overcome. Bitch, you!
I overcame you, bitch! You and your pinky-less finger hand. Like, it was you. Yes. You did all of this
You and your husband. This whole thing. All of Gilead is your idea, Serena Joy.
Okay, now I'm a little confused. I will I gathered that, and we'll talk more about it. But also, I thought Commander Get Out was the architect of Gilead.
She wrote the book.
Right. Oh, so it was a joint effort.
Yeah, she is the LaRon Hubbard of the situation.
Oh, she's the LaRon.
She wrote Dianetics, if you will. Because that's what the whole turning point of this season is,
right? So is Commander Get Out David Miscavige?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, no.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. Because Fred would have been Miscavige. Well, that's what the whole council would be, I guess. But Fred would have been closer to Miscavige than...
If Serena is LaRon...
Because you get what I mean, right? Because the whole story is, or what I'm gathering, is that Serena had this idea, and she wrote the book, and she went on a book tour, and I guess she met Fred, because remember, she tells her daddy about it, who got Parkinson's, which we'll get to in next episode. And then later on, she's like, oh, we're going to change America. We're going to change the world. So therefore, she led the movement, and they took it over.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that explains this whole dichotomy of her and religion now. Because she is so religious now, and juxtaposed to the people who have Gilead who are not at all. But, yeah.
Well, okay. Now there's some sort of weird odd couple at this point, these two, okay?
Yeah.
Now, we get to Moira. We meet Moira again. Was this bitch name always Moira?
Yeah, but I always call her Poussey because it's her name. I don't... Samira Wiley, okay. But Poussey is her name. She know that. They know that. I don't know their pronouns, but I'll respect those, but they know their name is Poussey.
Yeah, you're right. Because I can't... Moira ain't never sit right with me. It rings my ears wrong.
I don't like that name, period.
This is what I'm saying.
I know that's the name of Catherine O'Hara's name on Schitt's Creek or whatever.
But it makes more sense.
Why? It's like a...
Moira.
Yeah. Or it's too close to moist. You know.
You do hate moist.
Moira.
I'm not gonna tell you why. Anyway, so Poussey meets with Tuello.
Yeah, Mark Tuello.
She meets with Tuello, and remember, Tuello is an attorney in Canada, working on all the sides.
He's the U.S. attorney, actually. I feel like he's the attorney general or something like that.
I thought he was the Canadian. He's the Canadian side.
Huh, maybe.
Anyway, some sort of liaison, right? So shit's about to hit the fan because Canada wants... this is not funny at all. This was frightening. Wants to de-recognize America and start normalizing relations with Gilead. And then they show this map with Gilead. It was giving real Gulf of America-ish.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is real time.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Too much life imitating art right now.
Do we want to keep doing this?
Because I know y'all filmed this last year. For the fact that this is happening right now, like today.
Like on
CNN.
Laid out the map and it said big as motherfuck Gilead where America was. And when they said...
It's Project 2025, I'm telling you.
When they said
the
de-recognize America and start normalizing relations with Gilead, I was like, you see how easy it is for them to start falling into place with this evil shit? Everybody's ready to not fold until they do.
Like, did you notice, like in episode 3, how there's only 2 stars on the American
Hold on, no, that's a whole. We got to.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna get to it.
But I was like, oh shit. Okay, the details.
Tuello lets Poussey know Mayday's fighting back. Remember, Mayday is what they would like to call here a terrorist group, but really Mayday is a revolutionary crew of people made up of yous and me's, supermarket workers, Uber drivers, pharmacists, people who are sick of the shit. Moira, so Poussey's activated. She's ready to join Mayday. So she reveals to Tuello that she spent some time at Jezebel's. Remember, Jezebel's is the whorehouse that we saw seasons ago. And he's like, how'd you get out of that? And she's like, I killed a commander. And I think this nigga's dick got hard.
Yeah, he was turned on.
Baby, he got moist.
Yeah. Let's take a break.
Yes.
And we'll be back with first episode. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
But no matter how justified my anger has been, throughout my life, I've always been led to understand that my anger is an exaggeration, a misrepresentation. that it will make me rude and unlikable.
And we're back. Talking about episode 1 of season 6. So, Serena is talking to the woman on the train. She is being like a fucking politician. It's like, and she persevered.
Nah, she's like it's like a AA meeting leader.
Yeah, it's wild what she's doing, right? And so she tries to bring, God into it, and all the women were like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, we're trying to tell you, like, girl, I was R-worded, and you up here talking about it was God's plan. Like, shut up. I'm not trying to hear that right now.
Yeah.
And one of them said, God is just man's excuse to use 2 things, cocks and guns.
And they're not wrong.
I was like, ooh, we are writing this season.
But this bitch was trying to be a part in the conversation because it was a gaggle of mothers with their horror stories from Gilead and all of the various ways they've lost their children and all of the things that have happened to them. And this bitch is really trying to be a part. Like, yeah, I know, because I had to have my son in a barn. And she, everybody's trying to, and June is just like, you are teetering a very thin line here. Now, Dr. Our Salvation Army, who came and fixed up June's arm earlier, pulls her to the side. And he tries to tell June who Serena really is. And, and he's like trying to drop a dime and that they're coming to get her and her fake papers. This is the first time June feels some kind of empathy for Serena because she knows that if niggas find out who she really is, they are going to tear her limb for fucking limb. And that's exactly what the fuck happens.
And no shade. I was like, she probably mad because she know that they're going to kill her, that she going to have to raise yet another baby.
No, because
she going to have to take Noah.
No, them bitches they were ready to kill that baby too.
Yeah, they would have ate it.
They were ready to kill that baby too. They was like, no, we're going to get this bitch. And they said this bitch doesn't deserve to have a baby. She had that nigga in a fucking, what's that shit? Baby Bjorn on her chest. And they start spinning this bitch like a tether ball. They was ready to, everybody turned into lionesses. I'm not even going to call them hyenas because this is all justified. I mean, hyenas, y'all justified too. They're like, hey, well, fuck our drag. But like, hyenas don't deserve to eat. You know how. But these bitches turned into a pride and they are ready to kill the fuck out of her.
Yeah, and meanwhile, ICE gets on board and to check her papers. And for whatever reason, she's free. Like, her papers are legit.
Well, we know for what reason.
Exactly. And so ICE leaves, and that's when they start to, attack again. And then June is like, bitch, come on, because Serena is ineffective. I don't even know how she even walks on 2 legs without like somebody else helping her.
Yeah, very Mariah Carey.
So,
I like how he I call it lemon pepper wet snitching, because you know how lemon pepper wets are, you got your dry lemon pepper and then you add your sauce to it. Because he's like, oh, miss, now who are you again? Can I see your papers? It's so interesting because you look like this bitch when I worked in the clinics in Gilead who used to come out there hand picking babies like cabbage. What's up, Serena, you bitch?
Yeah. What's up, Trick? You know me.
And everybody is get ready to get active on this train. When they find out who she is, they said, your and then this bold bitch starts screaming. She starts going rogue. It's screaming, your children were saved. America turned its back on God. And I'm like, bitch, you on a train and 30 bitches and an ICE employee want to murder you and your child right now. And this is what you choose to scream out. Y'all are really, truly delusional.
Yeah. That's why even June was like, oh, this bitch is not well. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, and because, like, girl, I can't help you. I've done all I could for you. Now I'm implicated because I've been trying to look out for you.
Right. And then the ICE employee the cop from Bridesmaids is what he looked like. When he shows up and he's like, bitch, my wife died in the colonies. It was like, oh, everybody here hates you and you really don't deserve to live, if I'm being honest. So here come June Tubman.
I don't know. Can't leave well enough alone.
Can't. You know that bitch got to save the day, put a fucking rag on her head and a gun in her pocket. So so they're really about to kill her. And so June hits
the e-brake.
She hits the e-brake, gets Serena and baby Noah into another car real quick. They are literally about to break the glass getting into this car. Like, they are in animal mode, okay? Which I can understand. If I saw a bitch who made me lose my child, I don't think there is anything that could keep me off of her, not even that emergency brake.
No,
because June would have got it too, honestly.
Every time.
Getting in the middle of me and that bitch.
Yeah. And I'm gonna hurt you just as bad as her because of the fact that you know exactly what the fuck we went through, if not worse. And you have the nerve.
Wait, because when Juice said, they said, there's like, that's your, whose man's is this? That's your man's? And Juice said, no, I was her handmaid. Everybody's like, what kind of sick bitch are you? I'm trying to save this bitch. What? She raped you. She's like, they are going, and they are all justified because the optics are the fuck nuts. They are crazy.
Dog.
They are crazy. June should have kept her goddamn mouth shut. You should have never told them people you were her fucking handmaid. That makes you look 10 times buns. So she's considered a traitor, but she essentially gets Serena and baby Noah to jump off the train to save their lives because they were about to die.
Yeah. Meanwhile, because I was also wondering, like, well, where's Nichole during this uprising? Like, where is y'all trying to eat Serena's face? Well, where's Nichole at?
She was in her stroller drinking that apple juice.
Well, they made it to Alaska. June did. The end of the line.
Yes.
The American flag only has 2 stars on it now.
Now,
because there are only 2 states.
I found it. Wait, Alaska and Hawaii?
Hawaii, yep.
I found it interesting that an indigenous woman greeted June. Of course, right? It's Alaska. But they still got that fucking American flag, even with just the 2 little sad-ass stars on it. And not one time in all of this land snatching, grabbing, renaming, repurposing, ain't nobody still acknowledged that this is indigenous land. Just saying.
No.
Just saying.
No. That's the wild part about this. That's the hard part about the show. There's so many layers. It's such a mindfuck of a show because it's like, Because
I cannot wait to get to episode 2 because I have some thoughts that I need to. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the gag of this fucking episode was June was at medical. She's weary. You know, she got a boil that's turned infected or whatever. All of a sudden, this white lady is calling her name. Turns out it's June's fucking mama, Holly. And that was the end of the episode.
That was it. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
And come back.
We'll be back with episode 2.
Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Mainly as a girl, I learned, as a girl, that anger is an emotion better left entirely unvoiced.
episode 602, Handmaid's Tale, Exile.
AKA The Bitch is Back.
Yeah. So, Ruby, Frankie, and Noah are out in the middle of woods somewhere in the middle of the night. She finds a little church, and this lady helps her.
Mount Zion.
Turns out she's still in Canada, Canaan specifically. And Mount Zion is a faith-based community.
Women and children only.
Yeah. Yes, and Serena quickly named herself Rachel.
Mm-hmm. And feels at home.
Because, they're religious or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That lady came and
Meanwhile,
said, children are a heritage from the Lord. And that's what I said, oh, okay. I mean, they are, but I just don't talk like that. When you start talking like that, you give me pause.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It sounds like you eat them.
Exactly.
Like Hansel and fucking Gretel.
Or you like that family that shares all the same bath water.
Oh, yeah, and the poop knife. That kind of thing.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, all right. I forgot about the fucking poop knife. I hate you. So much. I forgot about that goddamn.
Jude is... Good times. So June is spending some quality time with Nichole.
Mm-hmm.
She's never met her. And
even though she had her. Oh my God, did you see that? Future. Sorry, I don't like to bring him up often. But Future said, wait, hold on. Because this, no, I'm not gonna be able to find that. Basically, Future said, I came into this world with no mother and no father. That was like essentially the quote, right? I'm paraphrasing, but I feel like it was very close to that. So somebody was like, nigga, was you hatched? Like, how did you like, how?
He orbed here. He developed here. He was bacteria.
From a moist stone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That nigga slithered in like Alex Mack. I don't know, but that nigga said
That's so funny.
I came into this world alone, no mother, no father. And so when you just said that, she's never met her. That's what it reminded me of. And I also forgot that Black Luke was raising Commander Spice's baby.
Ain't that some shit?
Nigga,
Because when we get to episode 3, we will talk.
Okay.
So I meant to say June's mama is spending time with Nichole because she's never met her.
Oh.
Remember her? Yeah. So remember her mother is a doctor, Dr. Holly, and she survived the colonies.
Yes, baby.
And the reason how she survived was because she was a doctor.
Yeah.
They was like, well, they need me.
Yeah.
So
she's also one of them white women that seem like they survive shit.
Yeah. Which is what she tells June. She was like, I had faith that you would survive, so I wasn't necessarily worried.
Yeah, you're of my ilk.
Yeah, and of course she tells her what happens with Blana. Mm-hmm. It was very much like sometimes you just need your mom.
Yeah.
It was very, very sweet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Mark got Black Luke out of jail. And, Moira's there with him. Right, Pusey's there with them. And apparently, Luke's trial ain't for another 4 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he's stuck in Canada.
And acted. And remember, lest we forget, remember when June and Luke got locked or got locked in that warehousey weird episode or couple of episodes or whatever. And remember, by this time, June Tubman had traveled back and forth at least 8 times to freeze 10 batches of slaves. And then Luke had done nothing but like raise her baby in Canada. And he was feeling, his ego was so hurt. And so this nigga was trying to be active and was getting his ass beat by Gilead. That's not funny at all. But it
is funny because he was trying to avenge his wife's, like, he wanted to, like, avenge his wife's honor and all that good stuff, but they beat his ass.
They beat his ass.
All of season 4.
And then, so now, he got something to prove. Outside of the fact that literally, like, he's like, I have not been able to save my child, right? And I've not been able to do anything to save my wife. Like, my wife keeps saving herself and me, nigga, and I was free. So, like, he's like, he got something I got to get my child back, and he's activated. But Tuello tells them that Mayday is handling all of this. Because also, let's not forget that in that last scene, or that last season, Blanna, they almost got Blanna back. But then they got their plane shot down by Gilead at the last minute. But the plan almost came to fruition.
And so Luke tries to join in on the plan for Mayday.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
we've all got to know. You got to know your place in your lane in this life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not meant to be a rebel.
Right. Meanwhile, Commander Lawrence, a.k.a. Commander Get Out or West Wing, because he was amazing on the West Wing.
Is that action?
Oh, fabulous. No, no, it's a political drama that used to be on NBC.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world. You know why?
It's the only thing that ever has.
These people would walk into fire.
It's with him, Martin Sheen, Allison Janney. It's an Aaron Sorkin show. Okay. It's a lot of it's the walk and talk. Dule Hill.
Copy. Oh, Dule used to come into the club randomly.
It's a fine chocolate
like
brother.
Just like very unassuming, would mind his business, always very friendly.
It's a fine man.
And also a kind person, if that makes you feel better.
He looks kind, because
right?
I used to watch the Wonder Years, where they rebooted the Wonder Years. It was really good. I'm mad they canceled it. But it's like he has kind eyes.
Well, Joe looks like he should be kind too, but he was.
He does it to me.
No, he looks like he should be. Anyway, so
Joe looks like he looks very aggressive. I'll just say that. He gives you know how I feel about Terry Crews?
Okay.
Not entirely, but just below. Like a Ving Rhames type.
Oh, Lord. No. Why do you keep attributing? No.
But sensitive. I don't know. It's weird. Joe would just. I don't get nice.
No, he wasn't.
I get aggressive.
He wasn't.
I get aggressive black and be like, like he asked, like, what color drawers you farting into, like that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, one day I want to hear all of your uncle like I want to hear all the terminologies. I want to hear all the things you think uncles are saying in the cis hetero world.
That's what an uncle told me on Jack.
What kind of drawers you farted into?
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch that. I'd like to know all of the crazy shit that niggas have said to you on Jacked.
Oh, honey, that's a whole episode.
Yeah, that's what
I wish I could go back and log in and look. I've had some requests, some shit, like a bunch of angry bottoms, angry tops, just a lot of shit that goes on.
It's gonna take a lot to top what kind of drawers you farting in today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I used to screenshot them and post them on social media, but I realized that was tacky.
Oh, I have one.
But anywho,
okay, yes.
Oh, here's the most real life issue of the scenario here. So we're at Commander Lawrence's house, and Nick comes over. He goes to tell him that his father-in-law is on his way, Eleanor Roosevelt's daddy.
Will Gardner.
Yeah, and Lawrence tells Commander, Spice that I didn't have anything to do with that Rivian hitting, June in the street. But then he brings up, we got trade issues. I was like, oh shit, them too. So apparently, New Bethlehem is a little hard to sell. So they having some trade issues when it comes to like imports and exporting goods. And so they're kind of like, we got to get Serena back.
She's our selling point.
Right. Mind you, while he's talking, this little girl pops up, Angela. If you remember, Angela is our girl Janine's daughter.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
Because remember last season, Janine was brought over there by Aunt Lydia.
Yeah, Janine got sick of. She forgot. She got sick of because the Putnams had her child, and she got sick. And remember, Commander Putnam got that face blasted the fuck. Okay,
ooh,
honey, in the middle of like a fountain
during brunch.
Yeah. Okay, after small sandwiches.
They got in the middle of eating. They went outside and said, blow, blow, blow.
Gra, gra. So, and then Putnam's wife married Commander Get Out toward the end of last season. And so and then Janine got sick of her shit, especially because that Putnam lady is real insecure about Janine's relationship with her child. And so she sent Janine away. That's right.
So Nick doesn't want to bring Serena back, but Loris forces him to. Meanwhile, we're back in Toronto, and Rita is here. We see her, and she was in something recently I watched, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Rita from."
It was something we watched. Diva's Christmas Carol. She was. She was the niece.
Yes, she was.
TT Rita.
Yes, she wants to go back to New Bethlehem.
Ooh.
Because she got word that they might have info on her sister. Because remember, Rita's whole thing was trying to reconnect with her family. No, Rita, no. Everybody's like,
Pusey
no.
and Bluke are both like, please stop this madness.
Yes.
But we know how determined people can get when they're trying to locate family. Meanwhile, June calls, and it's a family reunion over the phone because this is her first time speaking to Bluke since he got released. And then they find out, Pusey and Bluke find out that she's with her mother. So it's like a whole thing. And then June tells Bluke that she misses him and loves him, and it's kind of a weird energy.
Because she never does that, for real.
So, meanwhile, Commander Spice meets up with Tuello and threatens the existence of Mayday, which is very interesting because he's playing all the different sides, but we know that he's really, really playing the other side because of June. Otherwise, he probably will fall all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, he is in love with her. Yeah.
And again, Mayday is not military trained. Mayday is just niggas ready to get active. So we get Serena back at Mount Zion's home for women and children.
2 months later.
Oh.
Because remember, there's a 2 months later, there's a time gap. Because I remember to make a note of this because you know what? Those things make me upset.
I know. They listen to you. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that because I didn't actually.
Yeah, it was 2 months later. That explains why June looks better.
June looks better. Noah's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it. No, you're right.
Yeah.
So Serena's in the garden, picking tomatoes, and has a flashback to her and her would-be commander daddy having a conversation in his garden about the condition of this world and how they need a leader. And this is where what you said makes sense. All this time, and we knew about Serena's book, but all this time they made us seem like Commander Get Out was the architect. Maybe he was. I guess he designed, but she idealed.
Yeah,
Yes.
she wrote the dianetics of it all.
Which then explains a lot of the dynamics later on in this episode and the next.
Right.
Yeah.
He knows the functionality of Gilead, where she knows the scripture and what it's supposed to be rooted in.
And remember, too, he knows the psychology of certain shit, too. Because wasn't he he was a psychologist, right?
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Yeah. So her and her father are having this conversation and this flashback about the condition of the world and how she's going to make a change because she actually just came back from a book tour. Now we go to a scene of Will Gardner, stepdaddy or daddy-in-law, should I say, trying to play mind games with Commander Spice, his son-in-law, about fatherhood and choices, and it's almost as if he's trying to groom a grown man. But he's really just make a place for himself, I think.
I thought he was like, he knew there was something up with June.
Yes, he does. But I also feel like he is still trying to condition him in a way to be, he's warning him, you better not fuck up, and also trying to condition him to fully fuck, because everybody knows he teeters the line. So I feel like outside of Commander Get Out, who really doesn't give a fuck about the ideologies of Gilead, outside of him, he's like, just fall in line. Like, make sure you follow the orders so that shit is not, all out in the open or whatever the case is. But neither one of them niggas really believes in Gilead like that.
No.
Neither one of them, but Will Gardner does. So Serena ends up, June is trying to get in touch with Bluke. Remember, she's only spoken to him since he got out of jail, and he hasn't been answering the phone. And we find out it's because him and Poussey joined Mayday and went on a mission.
For me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
One of a mission. I got fucking stuck, but we'll get there.
Yeah, some sort of Casey undercover shit or whatever the case is. Serena ends up revealing her true identity to the lady at the church, who already knew who she was because she'd read her book and everything
Potts
else.
Was like, I'm a big fan.
Or I was. I thought I was.
I thought I was.
I thought I was.
Because Mrs. Potts had a few Christian words.
Yes, she did.
For her.
Yes, she did. Mrs. Potts said, she holds a mirror up to Serena's face, essentially, very lightly, like it's not aggressive. But she questioned Serena's intentions.
She was like, society, it went wrong all by itself.
And she was like, baby, what was your true motivation? Oh, well, God's light and love will deliver us all from the darkness of evil and homosexuality and all of the things that are going on in this world to make it turn upside down and burn on fire. And she's like, that's not, but what else?
Yeah, she hit her with a Dr. Phil. How's that working out for
you? While you sitting up here picking my tomatoes, bitch.
Yeah, picking my heirlooms, bitch. Okay, blessed be my fruit, ho.
Okay, under my eye. Okay, trick.
Yeah. And so Mrs. Potts tells her to do the right thing, which is a common theme because Eleanor Roosevelt's daddy told Commander Spicy White to do the right thing.
Yeah, she said, cut the shit, drop the ego, and do what you need to do. Yeah. But yes, continue.
He also forgot to mention Nick threw his burner phone in the fire.
Oh, yeah.
After he got this promo from his father-in-law. Anywho, we do get a flashback of Serena telling her father about Gilead plans.
Yeah. Coming to fruition.
He's in his late stages of Parkinson's. Lawrence shows up to Mount Zion with Naomi. And he's like, look, I need you here at New Bethlehem. People are starting to look for you, and the Wheelers are starting to look for you too. Remember, she escaped from the Wheelers.
Yeah, she's still property.
Back in real Gilead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, they try to sell her on this thing like, girl, you could be the face, the face of the company. Like, women can read and write now. Women have rights now.
That sounded so crazy. He was like, women can read and write and own businesses.
Yeah, go to work. Like, that's so nuts to say.
His sarcasm, though, is funny to me because even in the way that he's like, again, and this goes back to...
Very funny.
He's very funny. The ideology of Gilead and this is where we talked earlier, like several times ago during the political segments, about our own government and how the right is made up of different sects of people. You've got the people who don't give a fuck about any of the Christianity, the quote unquote, should I say, Christian values that they like to say are Christian values or hateful values. You've got the greedy ones, that 1% who's just worried about money hoarding. And then you've got your fucking evangelical nuts who actually, they want to uphold all of the hate. And then when you put them all together, then it just creates an amalgamation of like awful. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is out for their own agenda, but they're all on the same accord. And so this is the same thing with Serena and Commander Get Out. Because even though he don't give a fuck about anything biblically or spiritually, that nigga's a full-blown atheist that, I don't think he's ever given a fuck. I guess this was all a psychology experiment because he knows that he knows Serena is the reason why all of this is for the season. It's just crazy when they go against their own values.
I also remember... Yeah, I do think it has something to do with his wife as well.
It did.
Because remember, I feel like his wife was thoroughly entrenched in Gilead stuff.
I thought his wife was thoroughly against.
No, she was against it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She was against it. And he was like, we have to play the game because this is how we get to... It was something weird like that.
Yeah.
Like he drank the Kool-Aid for whatever reason. And it had to do something with power.
It's power. It's usually
maybe
power.
Because... Yeah, that happened so early. I don't recall. I need to watch the earlier season.
I know. I know. But it's so much.
Let's take a break because something happens with her mother.
Yeah.
And hit it, Claude.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Think about my mother for a minute. When I was 15, I came home from school one day, and she was standing on a long veranda outside of our kitchen, holding a giant stack of plates.
And we're back talking about Handmaid's Tale. We're on the second episode of season 6. So June finally gets a hold of somebody on the phone. It happens to be Mark Twello. And Mark tells her about the whole Mayday fiasco with Bloop and Poussey losing their fucking minds and trying to go save her and whatever the fuck. And so now June is like, okay, well, I'm going to go back and save them because they don't know what the fuck they're doing and whatever.
With the U.S. Embassy of all people.
Yes. All 2 states of America, okay? So she goes to tell her mama that she's leaving because she's packing. She's like, I'll be back or whatever. And her mama was like, help me understand. I don't understand. Like, this don't make sense. And she was like, this sounds like a trap to get you and Nicole Nichole to stay in Gilead. And she's like, no, it's not. No, Mom, no, it's not. You don't know what you're talking about. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Then she said, I know my daughter fucked a Nazi.
Baby, when I choked on my spit. And not only she's like, you fucked a Nazi and liked it. Like, she's like, you are in love with this nigga. What kind of sick shit is this, bitch? I raised you better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so nuts, bro.
She's like, have you lost all of the marbles, babes? Like, all of the things, have you lost it behind some dick? I know that you are better than losing it behind some dick. She's like, absolutely the fuck not. And yes, I am regretful of the way that I delved into my career as a mother. And then, June does fuck you, I hate you, Mom, that's why you wasn't there. All out of anger situation. Tells her she abandoned her, and it's a whole thing. Now we're back at Mount Zion's Hannigan's house for women and children, and
it's supper time.
It's supper time. 4:30. Can't wait to get home. Commander get out, and his new wife Putnam is there, Naomi, eating with Serena and all the ladies and the babies. And they ask him, as the only man present, to say the prayer. But this nigga don't know God. Like, he don't know God at all. Like, he met God at a party and then saw God again. It was like, it's nice to meet you. Like, he don't know God. He don't even recognize. Yeah. He's very Mariah Carey about God. God is Jennifer Lopez to this nigga. So,
how are you? You look so amazing.
Oh, you're so sweet.
What do you think about people still referencing I don't know her all these years later?
I still don't know her.
He's like, oh gosh, prayer. That's just so deeply personal to me. He's like, I don't pray in the streets like a Pharisee. I pray in my closet only. So then Naomi tries to bust that, and that's when I realized, Naomi ain't never known God neither.
This was a revelation and to Serena as well. These people don't know the Lord.
Or my Lord.
They don't know the word. Yeah.
Who's her Lord? George Clooney? Who is it? Who's the man who made Passion of the Jesus?
Oh, Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, that's her Lord. But they don't know him.
Yeah.
They don't know Mel.
No.
So.
No, not at all.
Serena's like, I'll take over this prayer. And we get, you remember when Tyrion gave that monologue in Lord of the Rings, and everybody was like, woo, like a scene. Serena gets up there, and when I tell you she gave the bitches back prayer, and the way we talked about this fucking cinematography, the way that they panned up as her ego inflated back, because let's be very clear, the ego was never gone. As we watched the ego inflate again, though. We watched the bitch coming back to life in this prayer, and we know what's getting ready to happen. And so, next scene, June and Holly, her mom, they're talking again. That everything's calmed down. Her mother reiterates to her in a loving way that her hope for June is to keep her going, and she didn't, that she's always kept her going, and that she doesn't want to lose her again in her going on this voyage to go rescue Bluchen and Poussey. June apologizes for the abandonment comment, and she agrees to leave Nichole with her mother. And she really thinks this is about to be a quick in and out.
She always does.
Always does. And then we find out Nichole's real name is Holly. She was named for her grandmother, which, thank God.
Yeah. Nicole with the H, I'm sure some of y'all might have.
Oh, I have a cousin. With Nicole with H. The 80s, people were trying to get creative with the same name. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tiffany.
Nicole.
Nicole. Brittany.
Yeah.
You know how to
Simone with a Y or an I.
Exactly. You know how that's, or an E with a thing over it. So June and Serena are essentially both on the way to their callings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the end of episode 2.
Now, wait, hold on. No, this is what I wanted to talk to you about before we move on to episode 3. Y'all think that we don't see these little subliminal, not subliminal messages that you are putting in this show? So the very last song that they play is Radiohead's Burn the Witch. I used to be a great big giant Radiohead fan. Radiohead is extremely Zionist. And the verbiage that they chose to use at the very end, they do a close-up on June's face, and she says, "Let's bring them home." Now, I know I'm not tinfoil hatting. I know I'm not. I know I'm not crazy.
Well, again, this show is so complex based off of her being a Scientologist and what we know about Scientology.
Hold on. Is Elizabeth Moss still a Scientologist? Yes.
Let's see. Did you see on somebody posted, like, there's this guy who posts bathrooms, like, where to shit in like LA in public.
Oh God,
he
that's
posted
so helpful.
he posts the Scientology Celebrity Center.
No. Wow, I feel so complicated right now. Wait.
He was like, just in case you need to know, go on the 3rd floor. It's quiet and peaceful.
You know, after we passed the center in LA, and I'm not talking about the Celebrity Center because that shit is creepy on a different level, but the other one with the 2 lions outside with the eyes that moved, I couldn't even go in there to use the bathroom. I'd have to survive there.
Yeah, me either. It makes me nervous, like, when I have to go over there, because the hospital is over there, and so if I have to go to, like, get, like, X-ray or, like, my medications or whatever,
it is
I have to
right
go
there.
to the main hospital. Yeah, it's just like,
Here y'all go. And then they look like zombies as they're walking around the area. Yeah, no. No.
Let's take another break and head it for episode 3. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Imagine how dumbfounded I was when she started to throw them like frisbees into the hot, humid air. When every single plate had shattered into thousands of pieces.
And we're back. We're covering season 6, episode 3 of Handmaid's Tale. Let's continue on. So in episode 603, Mayday has been trapped in no man's land for 4 days because the military operation got wind and trapped them.
Commander Spice. Go ahead.
Mark tells June the updates, and she's flipping out. Like, now that she's at the embassy, like, what do I do? How can I help? And all that stuff.
So, yeah, June didn't know anything about New Bethlehem. She had no idea about New Bethlehem. And Tuello tells her not only about New Bethlehem, but Serena's return to her high horse. Which, of course, June is not at all surprised about. She's just mildly amused because this is right on brand. So then we get this German. We're back in New Bethlehem. We get this German diplomat man person, and he's introduced by Commander Get Out, who then has to leave to go somewhere, and he tells Nick or Commander Spice where June is. So I'm assuming that he works for Mayday as well.
The United States, or works with the United States government or Canadian government. Because that mission is so covert. You know what I mean?
I know, but he was there from Germany. Because that's how he was introduced.
Right, which means so Mark had to set that up to let them know where June was. Because Mayday wouldn't know.
Okay, I just wasn't sure what side he was on to tell Nick where June was. But he gets the message to him. She's at mile marker 17. They have this and she tells him about Bluch and Poussey, and that she needs his help. So Commander Spice is like, this is very risky. And basically, you always get me caught up in some shit. But I'm going to do it because I love your halibut. So, of course, this brave bitch wants to go on the quest to go retrieve Bluch and Poussey. And, of course, he feeds in because he's a cup. Meanwhile, Commander Get Out visits Serena's... He visits Serena, and he is crunk for Christ for the day. Okay, this is the day they're getting ready to put New Bethlehem on the map. They're getting ready to have an open house. Okay, well, go ahead about your business. They're about to have an open house and try to get people back, repatriate. What did they say? Whatever. They want niggas to come back and live. God damn. So anyway, Commander Get Out gets to Serena's in New Bethlehem, her new house, which you said was cute, and I said looks like Connecticut. And he is ready for the day. He's ready to seize the day. They are getting ready to put New Bethlehem out there for niggas to come and be a part again. Now, back to our conversation from a few moments ago, where Serena is realizing that this nigga doesn't know Christ from a can of paint. And neither does her old homegirl, Naomi. So she's testing his biblical and spiritual knowledge by throwing Bible quotes out there as if they are just sentences. Quotes from books. And she's like, I don't feel God in you. He's like, oh yeah, no, he's everywhere. What you mean? Then this nigga
he's
starts
doing shtick.
He starts reciting her prayer from last night.
Yeah. He's up here doing shtick. And she's like, oh my God. Oh my God. These people don't know God at all.
At all. I am the only true Christian here.
Yeah, this is why I'm here, to save and heal everybody. Because she thoroughly believes that.
But then he lightly starts revealing his guilt for essentially breaking the country. Because she's like, what the fuck are you doing this for if you don't know who God is? Like, you cut the shit, nigga. I know at this point you don't know God. So what is all this for? And he's like, I feel guilty. This shit is a mess. And I am a great, giant 50% component of it alongside you. So I feel crazy about that and I want to fix it. Meanwhile, Aunt Lydia Trunchbull to God is back. Okay.
Yeah.
the bitch is back.
Endowed the God.
Okay. And in some asylum-looking warehousey building where the Martha's faces are covered, and then we go into what in the fuck is going on outside?
You gotta check your citizen app. What's happening?
I got rid of it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I got rid of it a while ago. I think. Well, first of all, it was getting on my nerves because it wanted me. Oh, wait, no, I didn't get rid of it. I just don't get the notifications anymore. Let me see. Report of food left on stove oh, that's why it sounds so close. Somebody locked themselves out of their apartment and left food on the stove.
Oh. Yikes. That's why you should not leave your stoves unattended.
When I tell you the main thing I do when I leave the house every single time is I make sure that the space heaters are not on. There's no candles or incense or anything burning. And I always make sure not only that the stove is not on, but that the gas doesn't, like nobody's accidentally hit a knob or anything. I'm like, I just don't want. But you see, when you be having niggas around you.
I was watching Fail Army, and there was this video of this dog who they put a pizza box on the stove, and they had a gas stove because the dog was trying to get pizza. So clearly the dog was trying to like get to the box, then turn the knob and ignited the fire, set the pizza box on fire.
Was everybody okay?
Yeah, I guess so, because I mean, they posted enough to.
I thought you were going to say the dog hit the gas, the fire didn't start, but the carbon monoxide killed everybody in the house.
Oh, no. That's very...
I'm sorry.
That's very dark.
I'm sorry. And that's why I thought you were... Anyway, so Lydia's back, and we are now in the whorehouse. Jezebel, the Jezebel.
We are Jezebel.
Okay, so they got rooms at Jezebel's. It's a brothel.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Initially, I was like, it's a brothel strip club, but I was like, there's no main stage.
Yeah, ain't nobody performing.
No, it's a brothel. They're performing,
just,
right? Right.
There's no show. There's no burlesque.
There's a show, but there's no show.
Yeah.
Now, remember last time, Aunt Lydia the God got knocked out because she was trying to defend the girls. Remember, Aunt Lydia's take on all of this is she's like a more extreme version of Mrs. Potts back at the Mount Zion Church. Aunt Lydia doesn't necessarily... She does believe in Gilead, but she believes in Gilead for all of the evangelical extreme...
She believes in what it was supposed to be.
What it was intended for, even though even that is a problem. That was a problem too. But she actually does, quote unquote, care about the girls and care about those who are in her. Like her aim was never to abuse them in malice. I'm not trying to make excuses for this lady, but we are trying to provide context. But anyway, so she's there to essentially rescue Janine, the one-eyed Jack from La Jezebel, and all of her girls who she had in her care before, because she's like, this place it's a den of iniquity. Like, this is sin. Why are you all here? Why is anybody here? There are niggas here? What is this place?
Yeah, she was incensed.
Baby, spawning nukes. Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. You are horse. You cannot do this. So, I love how Janine is giving. She's like, bitch, you the only one still think this is about God. Don't nobody else.
That ship has sailed, queen.
She's like, baby, the ship was never here. It was a mirage. We in the desert, okay? Nobody here is concerned with God. And Lydia's mind is blown. She is nuke spawned. She cannot comprehend this idea whatsoever.
All her girls are in the mud. Like,
yeah. They always have been, baby.
Yeah, hello.
You were part of keeping them there.
You're part of the problem. Meanwhile, it's, one short day in fucking Pleasantville, New Bethlehem. and Serena Joy, Ruby Frankie, is just walking down, minding her business, and here come Commander Wharton.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's been trying to, sprinkle some, romantic feelings her way.
Fumes.
And she's kind of like, I guess. I don't know. She's still like, I don't really want a man like that.
Yeah.
But she's also lonely.
She told Commander get out. Well, hold on. She told Commander get out earlier, which we forgot to mention. She was like, when she was hesitant about coming back to New Bethlehem, oh, well, I don't want to come back because I'm going to be forced to get married again. And we all know Anyway, so she's like, I'm gonna be forced to get married again, and I just don't want that life for me anymore. And he's like, no, New Bethlehem. You can read, you can write, you can own a business, you can be a single lady.
Yeah.
Throw your hands up.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
But I think she's a little bit intrigued with Will Gardner. And I think also because she has never lost that thirst for power and now it's back in full effect, she recognizes the benefit of maybe a nigga being by her side and her obtaining more power and getting more things accomplished that she wants to. That's just my own takeaway. They didn't say that, but
she is quite the opportunist, so I wouldn't be opposed. You know what I mean? I kind of see that happening.
Yeah. So, June and Commander Spice get to an abandoned water park, which is where Mayday is stranded. They get word that Bluke and Poussey might be in the gift shop. And when I tell you, I knew it about carnivals. I knew it about amusement parks. I guess I just didn't even think about water parks under the same umbrella. An abandoned water park is a creepy ass. It's a creepy ass space.
Oh my God. So I used to think like abandoned malls are creepy because they are.
Oh,
yeah. And so the reason why, because I was watching the news and Palisades High School, because it got burnt down during the fires, they're turning an abandoned Sears into a high school. And I was like, that's so interesting. But I'm also like, that's real creepy. There ain't no windows in no fucking Sears at a mall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's just
Sears did not have windows.
So y'all just gonna be at school, no windows, windowless.
This once was a Sears and Roebuck store here in Santa Monica, but it is now getting a new life, being transformed into Palisades Charter High School's new campus. Welcome to the first day of school. Practicing for the big reveal just
Was Noah one of the Sears still?
All department stores don't have windows.
No. I know. No. Is Sears still around?
Not all. Not really. I know there's one here in Burbank.
And we had one, but it closed a few years ago.
It closed, yeah. They're all but, like, maybe there's like 12 in
Noah
existence.
might be one of the last generations to go to Sears. Because I literally have a video of her when she was like 1.5, dancing to some reggae gospel in Sears.
Yeah. We went to Sears maybe 2 years ago just for shits and giggles because I was like, why is there a Sears in LA of all places? But then again, LA stopped growing in 94.
Exactly. It's 97. Give them that.
Yeah.
A few brick and mortars. As of December 2024, there are 8 Sears locations remaining in the United States and 1 in Puerto Rico.
I bet you that one is popping.
You know it is. Well, that's because they be trying to keep it. They ain't giving no Target or nothing. So they like,
Sears.
We'll give you a Sears. Yep. Oh, wait. Yeah. Ours shut down. And I thought they weren't going to be able to change the outside of it because I thought it was a landmark, but I don't know if that's true. Anyway, so they're at this creepy ass fucking water park, looking for Bluke and Poussey, and he tells her about his visit to her in the hospital. Remember, he showed up to the hospital when she got run over back and forth, front and back, by that MAGA Canadian. And he kind of told her why he's playing both sides. It's because of her. And I'm going to be honest with you. This unrequited love bullshit is getting on my nerves.
I gotta... Can I be misogynist for a little bit?
Sure, why not?
Or alpha male?
Other podcasts do it. Why can't we?
Yeah, a little bit both.
Pause, no homo.
Yeah, those things. Because I'm like, grow up, like man up. Like, you know what I mean? Like you doing all this like I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for us. I'm doing this for love. But you don't want me. You don't love me. But I did this for you. I saved your husband for you. I saved your child for you. No, you saved our child.
You saved our child.
Like, but you did save her nigga twice. But I did these for you. And I'm just like, what is this emotional?
I don't know.
We could have stripped it all to the easiest, like, you the mother of my child's. You know what I mean? You're my child's mother. Or I love you. But like all this melodramatics, like, we are under siege right now. Are you trying to cry? Like when this soul scene was happening, I was like, are you crying?
No, I hate a will they, won't they ass fucking storyline.
Yes, and what I meant about misogyny is that I hate when like we want to make the man sensitive because we want to make him, like palatable for women. So he's such a caring, loving guy. And blah, 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 blah. Ah!
I feel like Elizabeth Moss said, I'm not about to be playing no crying ass bitch out of nowhere all of a sudden. So make that nigga cry.
Good. Put that in my contract.
Meanwhile, Bluke and Poussey are on their mission in the gift shop. And Bluke still
has
feel
lost
like he
his
got
mind.
baby, because he feels like he got something to prove and I'm tired of it. I'm like, can you in that flaccidity?
He's in like he has real like flaccidity. That's the proper word.
I'm sick of it.
His emotional erectile dysfunction because
exactly what it is.
Because he is so mad that he couldn't get it up to save his family.
And
so
he was
therefore
about
he's
to,
turned into an incel.
Because June almost got grat by him when she came into the gift shop because this nigga is too
reckless. Because he has something to prove. And he would have been... And what pisses me off about Bluke is the fact I would have rather him been completely ineffective and stayed home.
Same.
Because he has compromised so many things. And it's bad enough that Offred had to focus on fucking Blanna, right? Like, I get she's never going to let that go, even though I feel like she should, but she's never going to let that go. I get that. But you, sir.
This is why they let him be free early, because he was ineffective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, be effective in the ways that raise me and my nigga's child. Make her pancakes. You know what I'm saying? And live in a non-romantic domestic partnership with Poussey. Like you was born to do.
Yeah.
Until I come home.
Rita.
Right. And TT Rita. So Bluke, and this is when I had this realization. I was like, oh shit, they haven't met. This is their first time meeting. Bluke and Commander Spice meet for the first time. This is their first link up. I looked at her, I said, you better thank that man for taking care of your child for all these years.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, everybody
Let's give him a firm handshake.
Okay. Thank him in his eyes for fucking on his bitch and taking care of his child. Can you imagine? Thank you for your bitch's pussy. And thank you for taking care of my offspring. It would have been like Ray and Luke. It would have been like Ray. Ray.
Yeah.
So then as they are leaving, of course, we've got to get some drama. Some eyes pop up on some, oh, what's going on? Oh, I had to trap these niggas because they are wilding. And they were like, okay, so we're going to go report it then. If you're going to handle it, we have to go report it. And the eyes get shot down. Oh, mama, I just shot a man down. Now, I was irritated with June in this moment because she's looking all shocked and stupid, like she ain't never seen 900 niggas die before in the last 5 years or however.
She act like she's never done this before.
Like, bitch, haven't you shot multiple people by now?
She's got more bodies than anybody on this cast.
And she was really up there like, oh my God, guffawed.
Yeah. Yes. Like, are you selling it because you with your nigga and like you got to be demure or whatever the fuck? Or
like, bitch, is you trying to go back to the block or nah?
Exactly. Meanwhile, back at New Balance, the dignitaries are grilling. They're grilling Commander Get Out, like, you know, yeah, you built a little new nice community, but your politics just still sucks. So you all got to prove to us
you still hate women
y'all
and
are
children.
Worthy. Yes. And in the middle of him getting cut up, here comes Ruby Frankie. And she cuts a fierce promo and she's like, I was a victim and I got out the mud. Real bootstraps type tea, right?
Yeah.
And so the weird dignitaries, like they roll out her baby and the weird dignitary women are like fawning over a baby, which I hated because I'm like, that's super stereotypical.
Hated it. And then they had that black lady holding on that baby the most, which I really...
Yes, on that, I was like...
What happened to all this energy from literally like 3 minutes ago where y'all was calling them out for sexually assaulting these women for the past several years and creating a system of complete oppression, like all of a sudden? And then they brought up The Hague. They were like, okay, well, we will approve this as long as The Hague oversees. But I said, now pause, hold on. The Hague ain't doing shit for what they need to be doing shit for. But that was just me. I was like, this is a TV show, Jay. To remind myself.
That's true.
Will Gardner is trying to push up on Serena so that they can be the new power couple.
Mm-hmm. Now, they are letting the jokes fly this season with Naomi and the bigger is better line. I was like, oh, this is the final season. We're just being loose here. Okay.
Yeah.
However, Wharton does make a case like New Balance is cool what we got now, but we don't want to expand too fast because it's exactly what happened with Gilead 1.
And that's how we lost control.
Right. And so everybody leaves. However, Aunt Lydia is still at Commander Get Out's house. And she is begging and pleading for Janine's freedom from,
the den of depravity.
Little whorehouse in Gilead,
In Gilead.
Yeah.
Wait, I haven't tell you where I hollered. This was not meant to be a comedic line at all. But she is like Exy said, she is begging and pleading and wall sliding to get these women out of this den of iniquity. And he's like, no, they're used goods. Like, they're no good. They can't come here, which is, we already know is another problematic. You all did this to them, but regardless. She said, why could they not become Econo women in that environment?
I was like, Econo women. Oh my God.
Econo women.
That sounds so basic.
Why can't they become Econo women in that new environment? Woo, that cracked me up.
Yeah. And Naomi was like, hell nah. Janine was disrespectful. I don't like her. She can rot there. And Lawrence was kind of like, well, you heard the lady.
Yeah. I think I want to say Naomi threw a true, like, fuck that bitch out there. Like, maybe verbatim. Meanwhile, back on the Canadian side of things, Tuello's putting his dick on the table and tells Spice to make sure that he answers that phone the next time. He's like, it ain't gonna be June. If you don't answer that phone, I'm about to snitch your ass out. And they continue on with that stupid fucking will they, won't they bullshit with this stupid goodbye.
Yeah.
And then that was that.
Yeah. He was crying and shit. I was just like, oh God, Nick.
He's not gonna love his new child. Like, it's so much.
No. But that concludes the first 3 episodes of The Handmaid's Tale Season 6. You can find here for free on YouTube or for free here on Patreon. You can listen and hear subsequent episodes on YouTube. I mean, on Patreon, because it will be on Patreon only. But you can catch our other recaps. We started at season 3, I believe. So 3 through 5, you can catch on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, check the description box wherever you're listening for updates and all that good stuff. And until next time, friends, bye.
Yes, we're moving.